That was just a joke. Was not real.
Do not do that.
Yeah, just do not, right? But there we go, there we go. Look at this, man. It is, what is this? Same between Oblivion Force and S2. We do have, like I mentioned, a Teho being brought out by both of them, Moon One and Chime, that will be playing on those Tehos. It seems like both teams have adopted. And can't wait to see how this kind of starts out. And it seems like there is going to be a bit more heat here on C-Long. The standard play right now is to have that Omen, place the one-way smoke on C-Long, and give yourself some coverage. But I don't think Oblivion Force wants to give that space for S2 here as they're forced back deep into C-Site.
Instant control by Oblivion Force. Lovely stuff. And this pushes back the defense. The Razor Vines is great for the delay, but I think they just want to accelerate off the back of that. Just identifying if the Vice Wall is there, but it's actually on the B side, so nothing to activate for the time being. And I guess Oblivion Force don't really like the look of things. Wants to fake away the back off, but going back towards C.
Just triggering that shear for now. Yeah.
This is the side they go.
And here they are. Good defense there from Socorro, but still will get overwhelmed. Chime's around the corner right now. Oblivion Force, they have to really plant the spike here. I do like how Rhea is just giving as much space as he can for the rest of the team. Flanks coming out, Rhea repositioning. Kipo, a shot through to smoke here actually works out in his favor. The swing out from Shenlong, and he will be at least able to pierce in through the site. Conversion from Kipo, has to wait for Uta to come in and assist. And Uta, gets one. Shenlong, 2, 3, and he gets spotted with a peek from Uta. Gets it in the nick of time, and that's going to be Oblivion Force, a point on the board.
Lovely stuff from Utah, coming in the long way around through the B site, catches them off guard, not expecting that positioning. And yeah, I mean, OF, they got the access towards the C site, and S2, actually not a pretty solid retake coming in from them, all things considered, but yeah, just that long lurk flank around by Utah secured OF that round. Yeah, lovely pistol to kick things off on their mapping.
You still want to go for that C push. And has bode well for Oblivion Force. Uta is just going to be holding the flank for the moment. The sheer timing triggers it. Gets one already. The exit of Shenlong is just not going to be enough for him, and I think Oblivion Force has called the rotation in. You know that Shenlong's already quite close. So we'll just go for the fight once more. Uta took a bit of time there to just pick up the kill, but kill nonetheless, and that might have opened up the entirety of the A site.
Alright, the drone will clear all these close positions as well. The order be open. I know that they found 2 players pushed up deep, so that should be relatively weak. The stun. Oh my lord, Moon has nowhere to go. Good night, Moon.
Spike planted.
Oh, around the corner. Ria's right below you, buddy. Jumping up with the judge, but the classic's the one. Knock him out of the round. Anson marks the drop position. And while it's just the Vice left alone, it was spotted.
Oh, it's very close
to die
to his
eventually.
monitor.
Yeah.
He's very close to his monitor. Wait, no, it's the same distance as me. It's just on an angle. Crazy. Or maybe it's just the camera. But anyways, it's a very strong take. So that scrap here, yeah, like I mentioned, it has to fall down to the kaboom of the spike right now. But so far, Oblivion Force have been pretty straightforward with their approach, right? It's very clean from them, and it feels just kind of off-center. I feel like I haven't seen them play like this in a while, so loving the start from this one. Uta's timing has been pretty strong, pretty good. But now here's the real test of endurance, test of attrition. Where's the impact here on the gun round against S2?
We see it historically, right? I mean, the Lotus that we've seen today, it really comes down to that push and pull of inflation across the map.
Not ready
Use
yet.
a rubble, as a defensive side, you have to be a lot more cautious with that position. Maybe you go for a little bit of an aggro push down C mount, but for this time around, it's a bonus round in the hands of OF. They're going into a bit of a trap play. The wall is available on this defensive side, activation of it. Lovely mini quest to be garnered. But still, they gotta be careful. Right around this door is Saikoro.
Oh no, he's pocketed pretty well there. The reposition, and Anson takes down S-Grab very quickly. Moon, is it B or is it C? It's so confusing, but that's just how much options Oblivion Force really do have. MKS tries to go for the sneaky little peek through the smoke, but just blows up in his face. That's going to be Moon, and Zenlan stuck on the other side of the map here. Have to go for the save right now, and Oblivion Force just commanding this Lotus first half.
Gotta go.
Again, the bonus goes in the favor of the team with it. It's happened a couple of times today already, actually, right? So,
Yeah.
so far, lovely stuff coming in from OF. They keep every single one of their players alive. They can go for a hunt as well, right? Ria's not exactly wanting to bring that Bucky into the next round, so they can kind of throw a couple of bodies at it. S2, yeah, this is the kind of international derby that I was kind of talking about sometimes within your regions. It's always kind of one-way street. You know each other's playstyles. You know how the tendencies are for regional brothers. And Land spotted out, identified, still alive. Should be able to bring that rifle into the next one as the time ticks down low. Alright. It's done.
Yeah. Able to survive that one. Very important as well. Just need the weapons for as long as they possibly can. Now that, again, Oblivion Force is starting to eke out this advantage over them. And look at the ult economy as well. Very close to that finish line. I do, you know what you're talking about with the local playing in international, but still kind of a local fight. You just know the movements, right? And speaking of movements, it's going to be Neon versus Neon battle here, but it seems like Oblivion Force coming out just a tad bit on top. MKS goes for the challenge, gets challenged by that aftershock, but this slide by from Rhea catches them unprepared. Saikoro for the TP across the shear, not to activate it, but this is a far cry from what is conceivable as a win for S2. It's going to be a long haul for Saikoro, but he can maybe pick up a rifle here and at least have some firepower to really press this backstab play that he's about to do.
They're all stuck within the site, so no advanced positioning. They've got to get the move on though. S2, time is ticking down low, and the only weapon, or at least the only rifle in the hands of Saikoro now. Clearing out all these close corners. S-Grab is around the corner to assist, but time is, take down way too low. They haven't found any sort of success so far. S-Grab the first is nice, but yeah, that's all he's gonna get. Rhea, quad kill found. Look at what he ace! Oh, it's Saikoro. Gonna deny him of that luxury. Damage done, but still the round in the hands of OF.
He almost brought it to him too, right? Sliding around, brought out the shorty, almost the ace. But this is the threat that Rhea brings to that table. Just know how quickly can really, put that 0 to 100. We've seen so many neons like that, and Rhea is in that same line. Look at the shots, look at the connections, look at just the options because of the aggression that he brings through that table. That being said, Oblivion Force, and they're starting to run away with this one. S2 at some point, they have to stop the bleeding, maybe even call a timeout. We'll have to see. Kipo just holding the position for the moment. Spots out S-Grab. Going for that jiggle, but nothing else, at least for S2 for the meantime.
This is quite interesting. Usually we see the Vice Wall placed in towards the C side. It's consistently being placed on B this time. Kind of just tells me that S2 have a bit of a weaker C side actually, right, for the execution. 2 Sentinel utilities invested on B. You only really have one of the Razor Vines as well as the Paranoia to stop a C side execute. But again, for the time being, OF not really in a rush to commit off the back of that. Just gonna expend as much utilities as they can from the Sentinel. So 50 seconds left on the clock. The Sentinel has placed all of their util. S2, shot fire gets the second guy instead. But still, that is a great peak to find. Now it's all onto MKS here to hold down the line here towards this A site. Do they even clear him though? That's the question. No, they do not.
Spike
First one's
down
easy.
A.
The slide in for the second.
30
Adjustments
seconds
there.
left.
But Kippo with the trade frag makes things a little bit more interesting as Utah.
There.
This is his turn to strike here on this B side down to a 2 versus 2.
There is some coverage at least here for Kippo as he
Spike
is
planted.
planning that spike. Uta is holding his angle here. Do you have the 2 versus 2? Oh, the timing. Saikoro's not going to hit
One
anything with that
enemy
paranoia
remaining.
as he swings out to his death. Moon 1.
Enemy remaining.
Last. Oh, no. Hold on. It's 1 versus 1. He's got the timing. Knows the angle, but unfortunately, Kippo's just a bit too fast. Bit too quick on the trigger. Picks up the 3K and the clutch for Oblivion Force.
And even though, right, Junlan all the way towards deep A, 1, MKS picked up a double, still not enough. Alright, Oblivion Force in the late rounds, they adjust, they set up the trap, isolate
One
this
enemy.
frag here, bait it out,
Enemy remaining.
and then Moon down to the 1v1. Unfortunately, not good enough to best Kippo. That's 5 in a row, unanswered. That's right. Backs up against the wall and again, down to that vicious cycle of buy, save, buy, save.
Yeah, it's that paradox, man, and it's just not changing. It's just the dynamics are changing here for S2. In real big trouble at this point. I don't think we've seen like any real proactive plays with the setup that we've kind of seen, and I think that's where you kind of fall, right? Because even on defense, you could have so much map control with the trio of the innies plus Neon, and it's just not. It's just not being, I think, well pressed by S2. While Oblivion Force on the other side, they've been doing the complete opposite, always using it. Salvo here, fault line there. Rhea slides in and then sees what happens. It's just a bit too much to handle.
Well, MKS, you've got the Rolling Thunder. You don't want to go down first. But the delay utility is there. It forces rotations away from the C side. And now they pivot back in. It's Saikoro here to hold down the fort. Oh, and the Steel Guarded eliminates his weapon. Not before he gets the first of Rhea.
30 seconds
Rolling
left.
Thunder is there, but do they want to commit off the back of it? Omen Teleport committed. Rolling Thunder as well, but Saikoro's still here. Oh, he gets hit by the Rolling Thunder, but still gets the kill. Kippo's causing so much mayhem. The door is open, but Utah's lurked in towards B. He's gonna cut off the rotates. Never mind. MKS beats him to the
10
punch.
seconds left.
Flash in his
Last
face though.
player
Gets the
standing.
spike down, but so many players around the site as S2 swarm it. And they absolutely crunch upon the last 2 remaining players on here on B. And S2 get there first on the board.
Man, that was a messy fight, but you know what? S2's got to take what they can get. And that's a pretty good one to say at the least. Let's take a quick little replay. That Steel Garden really set it up for
Spike
Oblivion
planted.
Force.
One
But I
enemy.
think the amount of delay utils that we saw from S2, it just gave them enough time to reclaim their weapons, and you saw how difficult it was for Oblivion Force to pierce that back of the site, and because of that, they were kind of just forced to go the other way. And unfortunately, Uta's lurk just did not get them that value he was kind of hoping for.
I'm out of here.
And a rubble fight wins 4 Oblivion Force. Oh, Armageddon invested. They want to push off of this. Identify where the first is. Ria's being eliminated. They'll push the issue. But this dark cover gives them so many angles to play around. Moon now left alone. His teammates have disappeared. He's stuck in this dark cover. Nowhere else to go. Peeks in to the waiting arms of Chime. And now Zunlan as well as S grab away from the action. Isolated.
Last
Finds
player
the first.
standing.
Lovely for the taps, but that's all he's gonna muster. S grab now on that flank position, but there's a trip. There's a vice wall there to mark his position.
Yeah.
He has to make, there's no way he gets through that, but pivot towards B might get him a little bit of success because it seems like Oblivion Force might be leaning towards that exact position.
It's kind of actually working in his favor, though. They could line up for him.
One enemy
And there it
remaining.
is. He's isolating them one by one, and it's the
Oh.
last person that had the lowest HP that gets the dub.
Make peace
That was
with yourself
close,
before
but
you pull the trigger.
man,
No one else
kinda-
can touch you.
you kind of think what would have happened, right? But yeah, tis what it is. I do like how S2 is slowly adjusting to the maneuvers, the movements of Oblivion Force, but obviously it's like what 6-1 right now, and slowly adapting is just not gonna cut it when it's that kind of scoreline.
Yeah, you say adapting, but Hippo's very proactive smoke there gave them so much angles to play around, prevented, the S2 squad from finding good angles on the players that were affected by the utility. But meanwhile, again, Utah is gonna test the B side, and time again, he's victorious.
Just 9 out of 10 times, right? Feels like that. Odds for him.
I'm out of here.
This gives them a lot more leeway. Choose where they want to go. Could even go a fight here against Zenlon that is just kind of out in the open. I like how he throws out that drone there.
Can't use
Exposes his position. Suppressed as well. Ah, yes, Tejo. Gotta love that utility. He just forces out the duelist. Back away to the, at least the entryway to A main.
Still got 50 seconds to decide where you want to commit. Confirmation just yet, but S2 again. They take the fight to Oblivion Force, but traded out 1-to-1. S-Scrap though catches onto Utah. The other side of the map, that's B, but Anson, that's a huge pick there. That's the closest player towards this site. It gives them that man advantage as well.
30 seconds left.
Preemptive Armageddon, being invested. Oh, but S-Scrap now comes in with the flag. It's compromised, 2 versus 2, but through the one-way smoke, Saikoro tests his luck, but Kippo's there on the receive. S-Scrap now required a 1 versus 2. He's got the Steel Garden and a flash to work around with. These crossfires being set up. His position was noted to the flank, so the around the world play, is that gonna be enough to throw off the crossfires of Oblivion Force?
How does he know that someone's lurking right underneath? Tries to go for the repossession. Oh, the timing is so good, but S-Scrap still deals. Time not really long for him, so he has to go for the spite, but unfortunately, that's what Anson wanted him to do. That's going to be Oblivion Force picking it up once more, 7-1.
How many rounds has it been down to a 1 versus 1? It feels like at least 2 or 3. And again, I like the proactiveness of S2. It's just that the utility is slightly off kilter. And then once the initial fight doesn't go their way, it feels like Oblivion Force are just better in terms of the individual mechanics, in terms of the fundamentals. Get the crossfires in place, and I love how Oblivion Force take the round slow. Right, they push back the defenders, they find picks, and then they commit once they have the information.
Couple of pings on mid. Kipo baits out a potential peek. Nothing to be had. Now he has this from the shadows once again. This bit of noise outside Mound has called a rotation from Moon here. Just, kind of entertain the possibility of that C push. I do like how Oblivion Force, even though it feels like it's a slow approach, it's playing to the minds of S2 so well that you kind of see them spread out to that corner very quickly. Now that they hear all of this, they just go for the massive 5-stack on the A site, so maybe this gives them a chance. Steel Garden used, though, by S2. Here comes the flank coming in from Zenlon, and it is actually working. No weapons available for Oblivion Force to really counter things out. And henceforth, it's going to be the 1 versus 4. No rifles picked up by S2 here. So it's going to be a straight-up firefight, but they're lighting up! Oh, no! Unfortunately, the last 2 split apart in the nick of time, and that's going to be S2 with the clutch. What a play. What a sequence. And that gives them a round.
And I respect Rhea from going for that. Zenlon catching them unawares. Great flank coming through from him. It was a very deep vice wall, so he made his friends know it was way too late. But this one from Rhea, giving it his very best go, and in a different universe, well, we might be seeing a crazy flip of the script. But for the time being, S2 still keep up that 2 rounds for their own. Timeout now being taken by Oblivion Force to discuss their options. Don't want to get too caught up in the mess. Don't want to let S2 have too many more rounds in this half.
So far, yeah. I mean, I wonder if S2 with that bit of, that big of a round gonna try to mix things up in the sense of maybe buying an operator or whatnot. That could be something though, because you kind of also realize that Oblivion Force likes to throw out like what 30% of their util just to get either mound or robo control. So there's a potential opening there where you're an operator just far to the end of like C site or A stairs can potentially get something. Oh, I kind of see the vision for Zenlan. He is going to be holding on to that Outlaw. It's a little bit cheaper, so if they do lose a round, he can at least get into a rifle into the next, and Outlaw still kicks a lot of butt. So I like the idea here. Grab has to back away for the meantime. Now that they know that there's no more Steel Guardian available for S-Grab here, they are at least entertaining the idea that just a straight march into a site could be the better option here for Oblivion Force.
And they don't have a secondary piece of utility in terms of the Razor Vines. It's stuck on B. Here comes the commitment into the side. Oh, Saikoro's flash blinded out, but he answers his own paranoia. Oh, on the top ledge, Chime is gonna catch him instead. Opening pick goes in the way of Oblivion Force. They swarm the site. Given over. S-Grab has no opportunity to get back into this one. Razorvine keeps him locked in on this position. The flash is perfectly timed, but MKS comes in for the backlines. Anson trades him out though. Trade of utility. The salvos go back and forth. But man advantage still in the hands of Oblivion Force. And with the sniper on the retake, that's not an ideal weapon. No ultimate to work around with as well. They just have to go in dry. Moon with the only rifle in this one. He's around the corner but gets obliterated. Anson one-taps just let out. And of course, Asarai, another thrifty. This time, Oblivion Force get up to 8 after a crazy execute.
What a round from Oblivion Force. Thrifty nonetheless. And this was kind of sad for Sakura, right? He was just choosing so many targets right in front of him, go pass by. It's that decision paralysis. You just don't know who to choose. So unfortunately,
choice.
Yeah, right? Then no choice for you. Sucks.
Nothing instead.
Yeah. Just absolutely sucks when you've already been dealt with.
Awkward purchase down from this round. You can see a couple of players have... Okay, Saikoro is locked alone. Are they expecting of it though? Yuta, you check the high angle? No. Free weapon given over. Attention noted. Knowing that there's no one to trade. It's most likely an A site commit. And that's exactly the call. The Razorvines gets popped preemptively. Rest of the S2 squad wary.
Yeah.
Their presence.
There still is that,
Gotta go.
better weaponry for Oblivion Force, so S2's gotta have to play this a little bit safer. What the hell was that from Rhea? He just like swiped left and right very viciously. The push out from Grab spots it out. Great catch altogether from S2. Here on the corner, feels like he's just on an island. Now they know that Chime's right there. Spike is planted right in front of him, so he has some room to wiggle around with this one. Unfortunately, he can't really spend all of his bullets, or else Zenlan's just going to go straight up against him. Great angles all together. And crazy little firefight between the two of them, so that's going to be a clutch for S2.
Alright, S2. Another run on the board, but again, these rounds coming in few and far between. At the very least, we've got 3 on the board. After a very awkward situation that happened down towards C. Money was kept a little bit honest, but now is the purchase up of Oblivion Force. Got the judge in the hands of Rhea.
Go, go, go.
See how he wants to make that work down in an open field here, down towards A. It's going to be a clash of the Titans.
They really want to go for this fight. The positioning of the salvos, though, kind of forced both of them back. Rhea, catches the one. That's only a concuss, so he's fine. Not going to get any damage whatsoever. Upgrades the weapon as well. Now they know that there's something in a mist. Is this going to force MKS to peek out? No. He holds his angle, hoping for safety, but Rhea just pierces through everything and shuts him down. Now the option to go the other way is there. And it looks like they're just going to go straight for B. Yeah, open it up. Pretty easy.
planted. My ult's
I know
ready.
that someone activated a trip down towards C, so you gotta be aware of that potential. Ooh, she may get spotted out by Chenlan. The crossfire is being set up. Scan is there. They're just gonna mark his position. There's no way for him to get out of this one. Has to hope for an over-eager push on one of these players. She's gonna hold it down. She may very eager wide swing, but still the frags just go all in the way of Oblivion Force. They commit the Rolling Thunder on S-Grab. They know he's the last one here. It's a 1v5. Barely enough time, and yeah, this round's cooked. It's over. Stun comes in. Rhea with the quad kill as Oblivion Force get up to 9.5.
Switching sides.
Such a commanding lead from Oblivion Force here. I did not expect this to be at least the outcome, you know, as we end the first half, but what can you really do? It's just, again, how well coordinated they are on this offense.
One enemy remaining.
And Rhea's just
Flawless.
fearless in Force. Well, okay, that did not come out as a pun. Not intended, but you do see the meaning, right? Can Oblivion Force translate that in the second half and, you know, just make S2 a run for their money? We'll have to see.
Wall trick.
Nice wall in the traditional spot this time. Utah notes the neon is there. Activation of the wall. That incites a push down towards B. S-Grab's got to be sharp on this, and yes, he is. Lovely tap. This eliminates the duelist. Force. And mindset the push here and towards this C site. Flash, but still the kill. Chenlan. Lovely execute and entry onto Utah. That is the site open for business. Double man deficit. It's gonna make things extremely difficult for Oblivion Force to bring back anything in this one, but Shimei will do the first of many frags, taking down Boon. They have here 3 versus 4.
There's no flanks to at least deal with for S2 nor Oblivion Force, so it's just a straight up firefight here. The question is, do they have the right angles? Because look at the smokes being set up here by S2. It's just kind of difficult to pierce, but somehow it is sort of manageable. Comes around, Anson hitting some shots here and there, plays around, jumps over, could have gotten the backstab, but MKS just a bit too quick, and that is S2 alive here on the pistol.
Yeah, standard stuff. You play a little bit slow, draw the attention onto the C side, get make sure your lurker, like watchers, able to catch that push. And then a lovely entry coming in from
One
Chenlan.
enemy remaining.
Win out the trade fights here onto the site. Sure, things don't go too awry, and yeah, that's what you would love to see as S2. The board, pistol in the pocket, looking for that second.
There's a shotgun in the hands of Rhea, by the way. Not his name, just, you know, wanted to say that.
Alright, it's coming over, heading over to the seaside. In fact, everyone is. S2, you better not be too overeager about this one, because there's 4 defenders just behind this wall of smoke. As it fades, they spot out Utah. Him going down might be a bit of a bait though. 3 more players here, the drone to spot them all out. And okay, now S2 is like, alright, that's a little bit hot for my liking. Let's cool things down a little bit. They back off. Let the round reset. 57 seconds on the clock. As Oblivion Force are now forced to roam the rest of the back to ensure that nobody has crept up close. As S2, they themselves go for a little bit of a gander. 4 players down towards this B site. And it's free for the taking. No one on the defense is there.
Yeah, it's a game of
Gotta go.
kind of guess whack-a-mole, or guess where it is,
30 seconds left.
or whack a sight. But they're actually going the opposite direction here. I like the kind of back and forth play that we're going against with S2 right now, and it's actually working. They've gotten the 2 picks already, and the most imposing weapon, probably Rhea on that Bucky, is just so far from the site. What can you really do at this point? And alongside Anson, no smokes to kind of cover the distance. Big flanks coming all together. Shenlan, though, I think he might just unearth himself Rhea, which he does. Here comes the push. Pops, preps the flash, but no, I don't. Interesting. I think they're just kind of chilling and looking for exits if they can.
Yeah, I mean, the responsible thing, the boring thing is just die to the spike, and Well, deny any orbs to be farmed from their opponents. Never mind, Rhea's gonna do some crazy stuff. Kill here will be nice. Yeah, Bucky's gonna get it. Nothing more than that. But S2, 3 players still stand. They bring that second round into the...
Yeah, so far so good for S2 here. Oblivion Force gotta start figuring things out because this could go out of hand very quickly. And you're right, the timing on that drop of smoke was perfect to catch out Uta. Rhea going for these, zipping and zapping, getting those slides. Pretty good. Now we have ourselves a bit of a fight here again between the two teams. Rubble is the name of the game. They want to unearth some geometry here, but it seems like it's Senlon with the 2. What a conversion, and he's not done just yet. Good damage altogether, and the refrag successfully done by S2. As we do calm things down a tiny bit, it's still a 3 versus 1. Numbers heavily favoring the S2 team.
Utah. 1 versus 3. Money's gonna be in a horrible situation after this loss for Oblivion Force, so a weapon saved might not be the worst call in the world. He has a Razorvine, the Arcros to work around with, but yeah, I think now that he's noted that they're playing super far back, they're not gonna give him a favorable duel, so he's just gonna tuck tail and run, save this weapon to the next, and hopefully find something there because a Rubble Crunch, well, every single kill just went in the favor of S2 and specifically Junlei.
It's just so difficult, I think, as you know, sometimes to just find your target because of just how chaotic the setups are between two teams. And if you're able to kind of bob and weave through that mess and find the first pick, you're almost guaranteed to win it already for your team. And it seems like Zenlon was that one. Also, God tier stun coming in from his teammate just to make things easier for him to win that that engagement, right? Because he stunned both of the 2 targets that Zenlon, MKS was able to stun the 2 targets that Zenlon was kind of having to deal with.
Yeah, for sure.
Shadows traveling.
Outlaw being purchased up in the hands of S-Graph. He's going to be all the way towards the seaside as it's a bit of a slow contact play on the other side of the map. Smoke just guides their positioning. Slowly clearing out open position outside the open door. Doing the due diligence. All their protocols in place. Spanning out to the corner of the tree. Executing towards this A side. No one's here. No one's holding it down. It's just Kippo. He's missed the timing onto the Neon. Trying to look for the second player, but that may be the case as he gets traded out by S-Grab. Fight goes down. They're slowly just walking into their waiting arms. Shime with an important frag there. Oh, make that a second one. And he's still relatively healthy. A possibility now. Rhea now coming into the mix. Spots out the players. Oh, but it gets dodged. MKS holds down the nerve. And he prevents Oblivion Force from getting any more than that. 3 players still standing. S2 finding their groove.
Now, Oblivion Force is running out of options here in the second half, man. They just cannot find any real way to kind of counter the offense of S2. And sure, you could say it's the same thing that we saw, you know, with Oblivion Force when they were on the attacking side, but well, the rest of this game is going to be played on this side of the map, so you gotta have to figure something out. And it seems like they're gonna do it again and again. Ring around the rosy we go, but it seems like S2 will not bite. They actually force out the util from Oblivion Force on that on the defensive posture, and it could actually work in their favor because they've burnt key utilities from Oblivion Force.
Very least, Oblivion Force have control over a Rubble. They have a bit of a setup here. The Omen, the Breach, and the Neon all playing off contact.
Drone going
The
out.
B side consequently becomes a little bit weaker. Shime is the only one here to receive.
This is how we
Already on the
end.
side? No, not yet. Okay. They haven't committed, though, so this Armageddon doesn't get as much value, I think, as Oblivion Force was kind of hoping for. And this call from... yeah, going through the Razorvine is a pain. There's just so much underneath it you have to kind of deal with, and Uta underneath explodes. That's the pick that he was looking for, and this is the round that Oblivion Force were waiting, wanting, vying to be able to obtain, and they just got it. That quick rotation from S2, not dealing with Uta, definitely worked in the favor of Oblivion Force there.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not sure if you noticed, but not a single point of damage, by the way, on any of the Oblivion Force players. So they don't have to repurchase up armor. I mean, there were 2 players with half armor, but that's the only purchase they would like. Look, 500, 300, 250, 500. That's the only purchases in this round. That's amazing to kick off Oblivion Force's resurgence back here. Again, a rubble fight on the cards of both of these squads. Stunned up and available. Rolling Thunder investor Junland wants to stand and bang. He's got the lightning fingers in his hands. Off the back of a counter Rolling Thunder, but Chime there to keep him honest. But still, double man advantage for his team, and he's gonna put the issue as well. They line up. Hit shots found, but not the kill. The Phantom gonna deal enough damage at that range. Saikuro's just on 10 again. Utah 1 versus 3.
Well, it's a lot more digestible here, right? You got yourself a 3 versus 1, but 2 of those players are skimming lower
Spike planted.
than the last, which is S-Grap. That is at full. Speaking of which, he's going to be first contact against Uta here. That might not realize, but no, he's so quick on the trigger. And now we're just left to Saikoro. 10 HP in a dream. And Oblivion Force. He's going to have to come around. Does he realize this? Does he TP? He does. And it's a game of attrition. It's a game of cat and mouse. And it seems like Uta is Tom and Saikoro is Jerry. And he's done for. Oblivion Force, 11 rounds in.
Will know my name.
Oh, the previous 1v3 didn't give a look. This time, had a bit of an advanced positioning. The damage done conveyed across by his teammates surely. So look at this. It started off fantastic for Junland. Triple kill found. Chime. That amount of damage was crucial. Utah isolates these fights. All hit shots, by the way. Actually, the damage would have been negligible. Lovely stuff coming in from the Vice, and that just surely just adds insult to injury. 2 rounds now in a row for Oblivion Force. S2 with the better team fight, but not the clutch gene. Again, a rubble fight this time around. Oblivion Force, they make their mark here. Full control. They've even pushed in deep.
Go, go, go.
But that incites a push on the other side of the map. C main to execute here.
Zenlon able to thread the needle, and it's a little bit different now. The smoke's actually helping out. Chime, though, somehow spots out another, and this is still Oblivion Force with a commanding lead. So this smoke at least stops Uta from getting the punish onto Saikoro, but the thing is, it also just stops everything in terms of refrag for S2. Timing's going to be quite important here. MKS does get the peak. Timing quite well against Uta, but it's stopped the offense of S2 regardless. They still do have some options here, but it's definitely not going to look like C, at least for the moment.
Credit to Chime there and the utility of Utah, right? Delaying the rest of the push. Chime finds a great angle, finds the double kill in the exact same spot. And as the announcer just mentioned, 30 seconds, you gotta make a decision. The spike's heading over towards that A side, while S-Grab will try his best to draw attention towards B. Attention noted, Ensign drops the stun. They're actually calling him back, so perhaps the attention being drawn is not the best. They just walk into the beat grinder. Oblivion Force, easiest execute to handle. Just walk straight into the waiting arms of 3 crossfires. And that is it. Match point found by Oblivion Force. 1 round's all is required. And S2, money not in the great spot as well.
Yeah, but look at that smoke, right? The wall as well.
One enemy.
It just feels like everything was working against S2 on that one. And you're absolutely right. Money not looking too good for S2 here. But I gotta say, Oblivion Force, Chime, and Rhea, they've been working overtime to push us into this situation because we ended on such a good note on the first half. And in the second half, S2 just started kind of coming back to life. This time, though, it's been countered all throughout. S2 could still go the other way. What ultimates do we have from Oblivion Force? They got the Steel Garden and everything. MKS playing with the shorty close up. You like the idea, but Stealth Drone being used quite nearby does help them flush him out. It's not yet done. Here comes the rest of the defense. Moon about to open a can of worms here. If he does go for the peek through the smoke, this is just so chaotic, and somehow S2 is coming out alive. The peek out works in the favor. Uta and Kipo have to play with the pistols for the moment. They still have some breathing space, some breathing room in a 2 versus 1. The wide swing! No way he goes for this! He doesn't even win the battle, but he loses the war as the spike gets defused. And I want to say a quick fix, but a good alternative to you is just having that double duelist. Just because it gives you a lot more front power rather than back end, and just makes your executes a lot more balanced out rather than, you know, oh, I have to wait for my util to get pushed in before I dash as a Neon or slide as a Neon. But now that I have this other duelist right beside me with the Yoru, I can have a flash at the back of the side. He can be alongside me for quicker, faster refrags. It's there is a merit to it for sure.
Gotta go.
And these two duelists very proficient for fast rotates, right? Got a Neon that can run, the Yoru that can teleport cross map. S-Scrap's gonna note presence down towards A main as the rest of the team start to close down towards R. A smoke there to deter things, identifying Junlan's push. Just that drone alone is gonna stop them from accelerating into the side. They want to pivot, taking up deep mid control, searching for potentially a frag, perhaps an opening kill, something to give away. Anson's the first one to receive all this information. Creeping up close range, Jiggle Peak identifies them. No one's down towards B-Long though. All coming in towards his lane position. Star is there, Stun is out. And Junlan running back on sight. Does he get the kill though? No, Kippo denies him at the punch, but still thriving and surviving at the back of the side. Moon still there to get that trade frag in place. 3 versus 3. Now coming in for the flank. Utah's fast on this one. Activates the wall.
I'm out of here.
He's so fast. I'm not sure if they're aware of his positioning or if they can deal with it. All these positions from the S2 squad, very labored, very awkward. And it's just down to S-Grab. 1v3. First one's identified, the stick of the spike, and yeah, Chime just gonna toy with him. Utah takes it to the full potential. Flick on the slide, but that's just a consolation prize as Oblivion Force pick up the first round.
Wait, no way. We end the first map with Uta getting the defuse for the map win, and then we start the second map with Uta getting the defuse for the pistol win. What? Oh my goodness.
Enemy remaining.
Poetic.
Yeah, you don't see that every day,
One
right?
enemy remaining.
No, especially when he's completely changed the agent as well. Now he's from a Vice to a Neon. That's a
Oh right, no, that was Rhea. Sorry, my bad. Both, yeah, I thought it was Rhea that was diffusing. But yes, at least Neons.
Smart move.
Oh, Uta
Go, go. Good hit.
bringing out the fury with the Marshall.
Going again. Smoke's there as it fades. Looking to find one more. Around the corner, slides out of harm's way. Just toying with that. Ooh, now they have to invest so much utility. Want to go off of it. Oh man, Junlan tagged down to such low HP because of the Razor Vines, but they're aware of it. The wall goes up. Buys them a little bit of time for Oblivion Force to identify this rat at the back of the site. Unable to flush him out for the time being. He still manages to find that frag. The rest of the team compromise. Trade frags go back and forth, but still Oblivion Force with the better weapons eventually win it out, but not without a couple of casualties.
No,
Still
the Marshall.
Oh yeah, the Outlaws. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Outlaw.
Retrieved.
Why do I keep saying Marshall?
Smart move.
Yeah, no. I love the Outlaw. It's sick.
One enemy remaining.
I think Bulldog.
It is.
Yeah. I think Outlaw over Bulldog. So the thing about the Outlaw that I like the most, right? While we, wait for this weird little picnic between the buddies happen. It's a lot it's a lot stronger than the Marshall, obviously, but it's also a lot faster to reload than the op when you don't use both of the shots. When you only shoot once and you start reloading the second one, the reload animation is actually faster if you didn't know that. So, just something to kind of something to point out there.
Appreciate that tidbit of information. Viewers, do take that down. Right? I want you guys to know that when you're in my ranked games. This time around, well, presence shown towards A main early on, and that pauses that early rotation of the defense. 3 players here to bolster up the A side, and well, the drone spots nobody, and that incites the rotate back from Oblivion Force, running all the way towards that B side, but that could not be further away from the truth. It's a full commitment of the rotate. That is the very false information. No one's marking art, and that's exactly where S2 are headed towards. A side compromise. It's a full retake setup.
Yeah. Pushed all the way back to the site. Rhea kind of exposed here. The flash
30
coming out.
seconds left.
Zenlon's reacting, but it doesn't really phase Rhea at all. Stops the plan as well. Nice little use on the gravity well, and it seems like it is just enough to stop the plant. S2 a little bit in trouble here. Uta coming around, playing with speed. Moon
Neon stopped.
able to at least
10
show
seconds left.
his value, but that's 10 seconds left onto the clock and no time to pick up the spike nor plant it. So this is a round for Oblivion Force.
That's a bonus, by the way. Again, the bonus rounds going, and whoever has it, even in the last map, I think the two teams, S2 won out the second bonus, Oblivion Force winning out the first bonus.
30
so
seconds left.
I guess these two teams just not caring about economic disadvantage. Lovely stuff from Rhea. The flood retake was divine. I mean, the utility to just flush them out, gravity well to dislodge the planter. And yeah, very swift thinking and action from Oblivion Force, understanding that, hey, even though they lose control over the A side, doesn't mean they can't come in fast as well. Low buy for the S2 squad. Gonna test mid this time around.
This is so close. S-Grab. I don't think he knows that he's already being hunted here. Just one more peek and maybe. No, he gets away. Waited a little bit too long.
Deep mid.
Yeah, waited a bit too long there, and they have given up so much mid control. Still, that being said, though, you can see that there is some form of control or check of that, which is Chime. Problem is, Spawn is completely exposed, but S2, I don't think, wants to go for that heat. Timing. Uta. Oh, boy! Here comes the drone, the clone drone. No heat whatsoever just yet.
Time to jump.
Yeah, but they know something's up.
But they're so split. Jetland is by himself down towards Art, and Oblivion Force, now this time they're not gonna bite on any false information. Even though they see the Neon just one corner away from the A side, the commitment's actually here towards B. Two defenders hold Astra as well as the Vice. A deadly duo and a combination here to actually shred them apart.
30
Kick off the
seconds
first. Rhea on the other side of the map goes down, but
Spike
Ansett still
down,
picks
B.
up the pieces. Spike dropped in the mix. There's no potential for the rotate. Chime catches the flank. And the last two players stuck down towards B Long with nothing else to say. It's a 4-0 start for Oblivion Force.
And they've run out of time once again. There's just
10 seconds
not
left.
really a lot of
One enemy
openings brought up to their plate here. Sakoro's the only one left standing right now. And well, he's just gonna be on a save. Nothing really to do at that point. Oblivion Force just commanding this this second map here, and even with that, mid presence or lack of mid presence, right? They still were able
30
to
seconds left.
just control S2, and S2, I feel like, just didn't really realize that they could go that deep. To be fair, who does, right? So kind of makes sense. But here comes the timeout already from S2.
I love what you mentioned, right? Mid was is completely relinquished by Oblivion Force for most of the rounds, right? They at the maximum have one player walking for maybe a mid doors push, but other than that, they're happy to give that part of the map away because I think in their minds, right, the commitment has to be at one of the sites. You can have mid for all you want, you're gonna have to come through one of these two choke points, and they chose wrong, right? They went into the lair of the Astra as well as the Vice. The utility was just so suffocating to get through. And I think this timeout here is really pivotal for S2 to identify potential pushes that they can do with that mid control that they have.
I wonder if they can start bullying a little bit more, because I think the thing you also have to, how I was talking about, the advantages of having the double duelist. There's also the disadvantage of that, where if you realize that Oblivion Force have been kind of double stacking the both duelists, you could just go the other way, and you're more likely to just pierce through the defense there. Of course, it's, again, easier said than done, but it is an option available right now for S2 if they realize this. That being said, though, Rhea, oh, they unleash hell, but look at that setup. Nothing to be really reacted upon. No need to overheat on this one. You've already gotten the 2 picks. And Oblivion Force just back away with a great starting pick on both Moon and Zenlan.
Yeah, just as you mentioned, right? The double duelist on one side of the map, they double up. The pincer, he's not really a pincer play, just a trap play off the tap of the ult orb. Teammate, lovely damage to be found. Information garnered, drops the smoke, even more damage. Oh, look at, you can see a little bit of a sigh on MKS's face. He knows that this round is cooked. And they have no access, no entry point. The Vice is still in their spawn. They haven't got any map control to work around with other than A main.
Well, they have sent S-Scrap to start going the other way, potentially to open up or at least catch something. Not gonna happen this time though. You can't see the Oblivion Force is playing the farther angle. Now that S-Scrap's gone for the
30 seconds
wraparound,
left.
there is some options right now to kind of split up. The problem is MKS is holding the spike and he's down to 21. One wrong step, one fell breeze, and he's kind of already done for. Uta is just waiting for that contact. Look at the angle between him and Rio. MKS already so close, gets the flash, and that's the pick that they were kind of hoping for. Already,
Last player standing.
yeah.
I don't like that, Asteroid. The spike going alone with on the lowest HP player.
Yeah.
I think at that point, everyone kind of knew that that round was over unless they found some miraculous multi-kill. Which, you know, looking at the scoreline, it's not really likely to happen. Oblivion Force, they play it passive. You know, it's crazy to say, right? Playing it passive with the double duelist setup, but hold the pressure. Like right here, look at that. Utility backed up with the Teho. They identify this push again as a double duelist. They always play in tandem with each other. And again, the setup's going to be the same for Oblivion Force. It's been time and time again. The Sentinel together with the Astra on the B side. The double duel is going to be pairing up with each other for a bit of aggression, for information. Teho to assist them as well. And how does S2 beat this? They know the setup.
Well, slowly but surely they are encroaching to go for this B-long push. The only problem is there's just a whole enchilada that's right in front of them. Quick little check. And that hurts, man. Zenlan was only wanting to really just activate the shear there, but unfortunately gets caught as the smoke drops down. He's down to 20, and this just will dissuade S2 a little bit more. And this is, honestly, this first half is just brutal to watch for S2. They are struggling against Oblivion Force.
They're gonna need someone else other than Junlan, right? Junlan's been that key player on the first map to open up rounds. Now that he's on low HP, you've got a lot of ultimates to work around with. Someone has to do something else. But Rhea spotted the whole Jin gang here. Gets out of harm's way, but that's information passed across. But not a lot of defenders here though. Into the side they go. Scan to review the position of Chimei, but not flushed out for the time being. The Razor Vines buy them so much space, so much time. A running Neon.
Oh my god.
Ignores Rhea's position. He gets shot in the back. Trying to split out through the smoke. First goes down, but Rhea's there to back him up. S-Grab, what more can you muster? 1v4, 12 seconds left. Spike not in your
10
grasp.
seconds left.
Got your ultimate. But surely not the round. Oblivion Force, that's 6 on the board to the nothing of S2. It's a matter of time before he goes down. Formalities. Oblivion Force. Devastating hold.
Yeah, this is like the third round. S2 ran out of time to plant that spike. Granted, this is the first round where they got close to the sites to maybe really do anything. But look at how difficult it is to push for S2. Once you throw down that that Razor Vine, how do you even assist your duelist? He's just all alone.
Pretty sure it's a lineup, right? The Razor Vine lineup. You can see the Vice is always playing on the B side. Pretty sure he knew a lineup that would help any players on that A side regardless. Again, S2 are going to be stubborn on this one. They really want control over A main. They will get it. They've got the Rolling Thunder available. This is a time to shine. You've got so many ultimates to work around with. Surely, this is your first.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder and Emo Rolling Thunder available for them. Are they going to use it in tandem, though? There's no need to really go for it, but Uta gets devoured by the vines. Thankfully enough, the smoke dissipates, so a refrag is in the works from S2, but that was hurtful to say at the least. Rhea at the back of the site. They go in for the fight. There's the flash coming in. Rhea with the double flash himself wants to go in for the battle here, as he does have the fake out. Comes around the corner, playing around the lives of his opponents, and somehow him and Anson make quick work of the rest of the remaining forces of S2, and Oblivion Force keep shutting out S2.
They can't device utility. Look at this. S-Crab, he's just in the spawn, lobbing out all this utility, the gravity well, together with the Razor Vines. They cut no access in. It bought so much time. Didn't even have time to get that spike planted. The flood retake was so fast. All these corners marked for. I mean, this stalwart defense of Oblivion Force is tearing apart S2 at the seams. It feels like there's a vice on any side you choose.
They have a vice grip. Oh, wow, what a catch. That's a slow approach into a fast death. Anson could be in a bad spot here if he overextends his welcome, and seems like that's going to be the case. This is a bit of an open area for the team. Chime comes out to swing, does get a refrag. There's no need for him to just stay long and prolong his fight here, but he kind of wants to go for it. Falls down to Sandline though, and this might be the first real opening that we've had for S2 in such a long step. Now the question is, do they have the map control? Do they have the time? Well, they kind of do. 50 seconds. But they're still cautious. They're still careful. They don't want to leave anything to chance.
The Vice will strip down towards A main, so they think that someone's still lurking towards A main. Meanwhile, Utah was the one to activate it. He's rotated all the way towards A. Now the spike goes down. Look at the push down towards B. Jun Lan is going to catch the rotate. Oh, tries to play a little bit of trigger discipline, but there's no one else there, buddy. You gotta get this one now.
You're going to stab him?
It's making me very nervous. Oh man, Utah's the first.
That's 3.
Yeah, finally, Nexus Press is known. 2 versus 2. Still very much doable. Steel Garden invested. Oh, the footwork coming in from both of the players. And oh, an opportunity squandered yet again. S2 fumbled a bit. And Oblivion Force invest double ultimates just to add insult to injury. They will sit on that goose egg for one more round, 8-0.
How does that happen? A neon battle, and somehow, I mean, this was such a, like you said, right? This is an opportunity already for S2 to at least bring in one round already. But somehow it just did not work out. The timing, the push out, the calls from Oblivion Force, always one step ahead of whatever S2 wants to do. At least this time, S2, they got the whole enchilada minus the Rolling Thunder. They do have the Nightfall to utilize, but they still have a bunch of ultimates at least for side take.
There. I'm out of here.
Position spotted out, stun to come in. They want to accelerate off of this. Jun Lan zigzagging. But Utah Decim, or at least escapes out of his reach for the time being. A little bit slippery. But Joan to clear out A main as well, but again, S2, we've got mid. Where do you want to end?
They're setting it up. Oh, does he survive from this? Whew. That was close. Yep, Armageddon being used to clear out Art here. But it's a slow approach, man. There's not really much foothold just yet for S2, but every little bit works. Every little thing counts, but somehow Oblivion Force, the combination is just so dang good. The slide into the flash. How do you respond to such things?
I mean, that's right. That little bit of indecision, right? That pause in the action just allows Oblivion Force to set up a trap play in the midst of all the action. Lovely ad hoc kind of adaptation. Flash of the Yoru off the double boxes. Catches all of them unawares. Chime now in an unconventional angle. There's no way Saikoro checks that one. Ria's good for the trade. Expects the push of S-Scrap. It's 9-0. Oblivion Force. Yeah, their track record on this map hasn't been great so far, but up against their local opponents, well, they're flawless.
Wow.
One enemy remaining.
Like you mentioned, right? They have yet to really drop around, and I think out of all the rounds that we've seen from Oblivion Force, you know, they won these 9. There's only really one that looked indecisive, and that was the one that they kind of lost that mid control quite early. But all things considered, it's been Oblivion Force all the way. Now S2, is this their second time out? I think this is their second time out already, right? So they're in heaps of trouble right now, and they haven't really found a method to the madness that is Oblivion Force. Whether it's that mid control, I think more than anything else, it's not the start, but rather the mid round calls that I think they're struggling with. They're a little bit more indecisive and haven't really gone and figured out what they kind of wanted to do, right? Regardless of the setup of Oblivion Force, sometimes you just have to throw your hand in the mix and see what happens. What's the outcome? And they haven't really done that. They've always been just pressured by the time to push up into the site. But other than that, they haven't been willing to get into the site at all.
I mean, even when they do, right, the setups is always there for Oblivion Force. You got the Gravity Well, you've got the Razor Vines. So if you're not given an opportunity, if you're not given a pick at the start of the round, how do you navigate this one, S2? You get the space that you want, but it's in terms of the execute itself, the decisiveness, to just go for it, to have a set execute once you've gotten this control. And again, mid, free for the taking. This is such great real estate to pivot off, to play for rotations. You just execute your one turn away from the side. It's really weakly guarded. This might be their chance to get their very first round on the board. It's just onto Utah, down towards main, to hold this entire A side together.
Yeah, he's so trapped. But, I mean, if you can deal with S-Scrap, right? He shouldn't fear it too much. Look at that Razor Vine. That will at least alleviate the attention of the A players all the way there. Uta might not know about the flank that's coming in right behind him, but how good is the shots coming out here from S-Scrap? Look, it's good enough. S-Scrap loses his bullets and can't really reload in time. God, that Moon was there just for the refrag, but look at the lineup bangs through the wall. And that's Kipo for you, Anson. And this is going wayside already. Still, 2 versus 2. Not yet over. Spotted out Moon coming in closer and closer here. The wall bang for one and the wall bang for the second as Kipo gets it once again. And Oblivion Force, let's have all the answers in the world here in Pearl.
That's right, my heart breaks for them. They have a free sight. They got a free kill. They run out of bullets and then everything falls apart. They have so many ultimates to use. Not clearing out towards the pit position. And then Oblivion Force, it's easy pickings for them. You had the Nightfall, Cosmic Divide, but I'm failing to see synergies in terms of those ultimates, you know, and the awareness to actually use them. Op now purchased up by Utah. It's gonna mark down this mid doors position. It's not an angle that he's ever been playing before, but the stun is diligent. Gets them that angle, forces back the Op. Test it this time. Oh, Oblivion Force wants to contest mid, but gets humbled for the time being. Rhea, tag down low. The Op is noted for, but he still goes in for second dippings. Junlan, not gonna miss that one. Utah now reassumes this angle. They pivot into what's this A site. Aftershock's great to lock him back. We'll find a kill actually. And that is the decisiveness that we are lacking, that we are finally now seeing in the form of S2. A little bit overheating in the form of Sunland right there, but they get the spike down and find themselves double man advantage in the post plant. The last two players, Kipo now creeping up close corner. Where's the trade frag? Where's the answer? Not to be received just yet, but still advantage in terms of man count. Cosmic Divide invested. Forces them into a very committed spot. Anson has got a small little angle to be exposed from. Moon just peeks out and it's an easy kill for him. Last man standing of Kipo, and he will go down to the hands of Moon. And S2 finally break their silence and put their first on the board.
Wow. That, I have no words. That was a much needed round for them. Seems like OF stayed a little bit too long on some of those positions. You saw that there was also, I think, a mistake from Rio where he wanted to push through Art there potentially, but got caught with the stun and the aftershock, so he couldn't get away. He died to the util. There's also a point where, oh sorry, that was Uta, but Rhea staying too long on Art, as that Yoru also costed him quite a bit. So now coming into this last round in the first half, Zenland's already down to half. A couple of pop shots from, I believe that was Kipo. has put them down severely low. Oh my god! It's happened, but now it's worse. He got
They
caught.
didn't even trip the wall. The wall is still up.
Oh no, it's even. Yeah, this is dire.
Watch it, find it.
Flash coming out.
Right.
There's the wall. Wanted to go for the fight here, but that Razor Vine is just making it difficult, man. With the Steel Guard and even.
Go, go, go. Stalking.
Yeah, your flank is compromised as well. S-Grab
Go, go, go.
stunned up. The wall. Yuta can't get out of there. Now he can. Here's a boatload of gunfire. Moon will try his best, but with just 1 HP, it's not much he can do. They're all trapped in. They're locked in. MKS answers one more. They need a lot more work to be done. Aftershock's great to flush him out into the open, but still, Kippo finds one more. MKS on 1 HP, and so is his compatriot. Barely surviving, and Utah's got a great angle to mark them down. Doesn't finish the kill though, and S-Grab actually gotta find that one instead. Opens up the round, the rotate is available. 20 seconds on the clock. They gotta get their running boots on though, and it's a pretty damn far distance. I don't know if he reaches there in time. Breach has gotta just knife out for this one. And well, Oblivion Force, they're more than privy to it. Doesn't even have the time. Chimei's there, just marking. Rolling Thunder invested. Get it down, buddy. Yes, it does. Oh no! And there's no more time, just by the virtue of the utility. Salvos are there, and the hope is all lost.
Switching sides.
11-1 Oblivion Force,
Remember,
sitting comfortably as they demolish S2.
How does a salvo beat a Rolling Thunder ultimate? Right?
That's crazy.
That is bonkers.
Oblivion Force. Well, they only drop a single round that first half. Very least S2, they're not going home with a 0. They're not part of the O13 club today. They might be going home after a loss in this one, because just this map win itself will give Oblivion Force their qualification spot in the group stage of Challengers Southeast Asia. S2, they need to match the half that Oblivion Force just did to them. And it all starts with a pistol, so let's see what they have in store for us here. Deep down towards mid, Oblivion Force have garnered control. And S2, dynamic offensive towards a mate.
Zenlan's just out. Just does not want any of that heat whatsoever. Uta's been pretty patient waiting here on Ali. Now he's doubled up with his own teammate. Start pushing up. That TP though, kind of interesting. I wonder if he TPs and then Uta just straight up peaks. We'll see how that kind of goes out, but this push by S2 could be a moment of brilliance if they can get themselves into play here. Unfortunately, yeah, that Cheers is going to stop them, so he has to hold the back of the site. Ikoro, unfortunately, falls down. Now it's a 3 versus 3. Spike planted in. It's going to be the retake. They do get the pick onto Chimei. Want to stun at the back of the site. They can start pushing in. Isolate the angles. Anson has to go ballistic, but cannot, as the relay bolt shuts him down, incapacitates him. And that's going to be S2 with a round, with the pistol. They're fighting back.
Alright, get Junlen activated. Triple kill from him in this round. That's all you need. Set your, I guess, star duelist up, and yeah, you get that round. 13-12 AD, positive. Yeah, just as you mentioned, actually, the Euro teleport as they run straight through.
One enemy
Great
remains.
job coming from Junlen. Look at that, just decisiveness. Walks the floor, gets them that pistol round. And well, we've seen Eagles before, so what do you think of this one?
all missiles away.
Well, they got a shotgun. That's all you gotta figure out. But Zenlan is a man on a mission, right? Although, Uta's picked up the rifle here from Zenlan. They could be in a difficult spot if he just kind of finds an angle here, which he does. Straight up just goes for the fight. Now, this is still a 3 versus 3, but the brunt are the remaining players of Oblivion Force stacked outside A here. We still have Saikoro holding for the possibility of the B push, but I like the idea here from Oblivion Force. They're holding here. If they can push up their way into the site, they're going to be able to pick up the drop weapons, upgrade, and they're just playing for Devil's Advocate here. They're going to use their numbers to just catch out their opponents, and they still have time to actually do this. So they have options.
I don't get it. I don't get it. S2 saw so many players. A main, we have no defender there. We have no one to anchor to provide information. We double push out towards mid. We have no no idea that they're planning the spike. We're so far from the action.
Launching thorns.
I was talking about equals. I didn't actually believe in it. Well, this is the reality we do reside in. S2, they need this one so dearly. This smoke here has just been popped, and Kimura on the corner. This one's nice. A second fadeaway shot. Not like this, S2. A 1v3 for Saikoro. Yeah, he's been a standout player for this squad. He has a boatload of utility, but no access to be found. A crossfire setup. Azurai, how does this happen at eco round?
I understand what you said with them not rotating.
I'm out of here.
I think in the heads of S2, they were probably thinking that their opponents are just gonna rotate, but there was just so much time
One enemy remaining.
for Oblivion Force that they had, again, so many things that they could do. And I think S2 wanted to counter all of those possibilities, right? They were like Doctor Strange using that Eye of Agamotto to just, they overthought a little bit too much.
Go, go,
They could have
go.
just compressed themselves, waited for the plan of the spike, and they immediately would know which side it was on, right? So,
Not ready yet.
yeah, that definitely cost them something. Maybe even the series, maybe even the spot, because now they got no money, and it's already series point.
Exactly that. Trapped behind a wall of smoke and a bit of thorns.
There.
Is this how S2 go into the night? Oblivion Force, they've got all their players here as well. S2 in the corner, they're getting inquisitive. S-grab, oh, that's dangerous, that's daring. Ultimate Investor, Junlet goes down on a single frag. One by one, they fall, tapped out of the server. It's all just onto Moon. Oblivion Force, obliterate. Oh, I say that a bit early, Moon. A chance, a collateral headshot to be found. Any more miracles in this one? It's a 1v5 ace required.
Down.
Surely not.
Ace.
And Oblivion Force,
Attackers
wait
win.
and receive. They take